Florida's Fourth Estate with hosts Ginger Gadsden and Matt Austin. The show where we bring Florida into focus.
It started at home.
I have a sheepadoodle. His name is Finn. Every morning when I wake up to get my coffee, Finn herds me.
And turned into this.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to take my dog out on the farm and he's going to herd some sheep.
But Ginger's dog isn't the only one tapping into his wild side.
You know, they come out here and they act like they were born and bred on a farm.
Learn more about the trend, but first, this week's headlines.
A lot of animal stories, but this first one, it's a different kind of creature, a politician.
A power-hungry creature.
Right. So look, we have all at some point or another gotten pulled over for a speeding ticket. It happens. It's what you say after you get pulled over that really makes the man. In this case, a county commissioner decided to tell the cops, I run the state. Let's listen.
I am your elected official. I am certainly, I'm over the state to run the county.
I think he's a bit confused about how local politics works. County commissioners do not, in fact, run the state. They are not in charge of FHP, which is a part of the state. So this guy's name is Joe Mullins. He is from Flagler County. I would like to highlight this gentleman. He was pulled over once for 92 in a 60. He was pulled over again for 89 in a 60. And the thing I love about the video, Ginger, is that these cops could not have cared less who this guy was. They're like, you know what? You can hear their conversation just between the two of them. The one guy goes, well, he's a county commissioner. The other guy goes, well, he's getting a ticket.
Yeah. Now he's getting 2 tickets. It just is such an egregious abuse of power. And when you hear it and you see it, you almost feel bad for the guy, but then you really don't, because you're like, oh, God. I mean, have you ever pulled that, Matt? Do you know who I am? I'm your newsman, Matt Austin.
I would get 2 tickets if I did.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a bunch of other Florida-like stories because these are things that only happen in the state of Florida. Have you ever just been out at a park enjoying your day and you come across something like what we're about to see? Can you roll the video so people can see? This is at a park
around
in
the corner.
Mount Dora, and you're just kind of enjoying your what? Oh, you recognize it. Big zoom in.
It's
What's
a giant
that?
gator.
That's a giant gator with a bird in its mouth. This is the
Thanksgiving has come early, Ginger.
It's a little early. This thing, look at it. It's holding it. It's sad to say that if I were at that park, I would probably try to free that bird. Look at this guy. He's keeping a safe distance. Don't interfere with
You would
nature.
not try to free that bird.
I would because it's not fair. It's not fair. That gator can get in the water and get all the fish he wants. Why are you getting a bird that flies?
What do you mean it's not fair? The bird can fly. This is like the catch of a lifetime. An alligator with foot-long legs somehow is able to catch a bird that can fly. This guy earned that meal. You shouldn't be taking it away from him.
I don't know. It's just sad. But if you ever come across anything like that, don't do what I said to do. Don't try to approach it. And Matt, a couple of weeks ago when we had someone from Gatorland on, and Matt said, if you find yourself face to face with a gator, should you offer it your arm? The answer is always no.
Look, that was taken out of context. Okay, I'm saying if you're treading water, gator's coming at your face. He's going to grab your face, so you got to give him. I stand by my comments, Ginger. I stand by my comments.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Good for you.
All right.
Next.
Sticking with that wild theme, we had a bear encounter this week, in which the bear went into a gentleman's garage, somehow knew to just open up the fridge, and he kind of looked like Homer Simpson in this or something. Let's take a look.
Can he take all my food?
You're gonna take all the food.
So the bear just kind of is digging around in the fridge. Let me cue it up from the beginning. You can see he is just in there. Have you ever noticed a bear with butt cheeks before?
He has got some badonkadonk.
Do you see that?
Right,
I mean, that is different.
That's not his first fridge that he has raided.
Minimum 300-pound bear. I mean, that is a big black bear.
Oof. And that is a common sight here in Florida as well.
Yeah, it really is. This is in Sanford, Florida. If you're wondering exactly where it is, you've got a brazen bear, goes right into the open garage door, and knows exactly how to open and just leaving food behind.
He opened the fridge. Well, he left the guy's shoe behind, and there appears to be a rogue milk carton. He's not interested in that. I don't know. It looks like he had like some Publix chicken he was walking away with
Well, you
and
can't
going
blame
back to
him
the
for
cave
taking
for the
that.
family. No, it's delicious. It's delicious. So if you ever also encounter a bear, do not offer it your arm as well.
It's never going to end. It's never going to end. I just like how the guy is talking to the bear. He's like, oh, great. And the bear looks at him like, whatever. Just
You want some of this?
eat it,
I didn't
buddy.
think so. I know we had to cut out some cussing that he said,
We
but
did.
you know, he's mad.
Not the bear,
So
the guy.
the guy, if the bear is cussing, we've buried the lead. Okay, so this next story, Matt, is my nightmare. I've had in my lifetime, just living here in Central Florida, two things show up in my toilet, and both times frogs. And I can't imagine in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day going to the bathroom, lifting the lid, and you see this thing. Look at it.
Oh,
No,
gosh.
no, sir.
It just sends a
No,
shiver
sir.
down your spine, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh. This is in Hollywood, Florida. And this guy, he's just ready for it because it's not the first time it's happened to them. I guess it's a common thing. It's an iguana in the toilet.
Look at
Look at
that
him.
thing.
I mean, okay, this one. No, no. Okay, I just can't imagine just getting ready to back up to that. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God. It, I don't even want to look at the video anymore. It is terrifying. It's a common thing that happens. People find snakes, they find iguanas, all kinds of things. So my advice to you is to just look before you leap or sit.
I
Whatever.
totally agree with you. As a longtime Floridian, I was born in this state. There is a rule. You always, doesn't matter the time of the evening, it doesn't matter when. You pop that lid open and you look in there. And I know some people will say, well, that's super rare. Well, it's rare to get hit by lightning, but I don't go dancing around with my golf clubs out in a
Correct.
thunderstorm.
You shouldn't.
Okay.
You shouldn't.
And so that it has been a wild week of animal encounters in Florida, and it is the perfect week, Ginger, for the story that we have coming up after the break.
Okay, so you know, my sheepadoodle Finn, he is just a lover and also a herder. And that's what they tend to do. So this week, we're going to introduce you, take you out to a beautiful farm and show you that this is not uncommon. These dogs have this natural instinct where they want to do this. So we're going to go out to this farm. This is where they teach the dogs to actually herd. They have jobs, but the catch is we pay them to teach our dogs how to do this. I'm so excited to introduce you to these people. It's pretty exciting. And once you see it, you're going to want to know if your dog can do it too.
Hey there, and welcome back to Florida's Fourth Estate. Ginger is ecstatic about this week's interview, and frankly, so am I. This episode sponsored by another crazy idea by Ginger Gadsden. I was shocked when she said she was going to do this. Then she did with her dog. And it's just a little, frankly, some people are going to think this is a little crazy, Gigi.
Matt, I went wild. That's all I want to say. I went wild and I loved it. And I'm going to do it again and again and again. I'm so glad that you thought this was a cool idea because you know how I love animals and you know how I love to do different things and try out different things with my animals. So I have a sheepadoodle. His name is Finn. Every morning when I wake up to get my coffee, Finn herds me. And by herding me, I mean, he like nudges me with his nose to the kitchen, to the bathroom, everywhere. He's just nudging. And I'm like, this dog is hurting me. And not hurting, but herding.
Yeah.
And I found a place where they actually teach your dogs how to do that. They let you come out to their sheep farm and they teach the dog how to herd. When I heard this, I'm like, sign us up immediately. So the person who is doing all of this, her name is Natalie Cole, and she is out at Linden Hollow Farm. Out. Hi, Natalie. How are you? You're in St. Cloud, Florida, which is, oh my gosh. I thought where I'm from in South Carolina is God's country, but you're in God's country right now. It is beautiful where you are. Natalie, thank you for being here with us today. First of all, we know you guys, it's a sheep farm. How did this come about that someone said, you know what, this would be a great idea to teach our dogs how to herd? Because that's just what happens naturally on your farm anyway.
Yep. So for us, it started with Shelties. We used to show Shetland sheepdogs in conformation, and we wanted to compete with them in herding as well. So my grandma got a few sheep for herself to work her dog, and we started from there when I was very little and been going since then.
Oh
It's
my
pretty
gosh.
cool. And I want to say, so if you're just listening to this podcast right now, you hear dogs chirping in the background. Now, Natalie is on her farm right now in St. Cloud. We're showing some video of a future pro herder. This is Finn Gadsden right now out there on the farm. So Natalie, just as an outside person, and Ginger knew I was a skeptic when she first told me she was going to take her lavish lifestyle sheepadoodle. I mean, this dog, I think, gets booked a massage every week. Like, it's ridiculous how pampered this dog is. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to take my dog out on the farm and he's going to herd some sheep. Does it sound crazy to you when you start to hear this? We're also, by the way, seeing some live shots of the farm out there right now. This is actually herding going on at this moment. So Natalie, do people think you're crazy when they say we're going to take these domesticated dogs and just send them out there and herd?
Nope. Some of them, they come out here and they act like they were born and bred on a farm. It's just hardwired DNA. So when they say that they have their pup that lives in an apartment and they want to bring it out for herding lessons, and it comes out and does what it's supposed to do, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, okay. So no, we saw a video of Finn being trained how to herd. He's only had a couple of lessons. And so you only start him out with a few sheep because you make sure that the sheep aren't hurt and the sheep are safe. And he does a really good job. And you say he's like more confident his second go round. Now we want to see how it's really done because you're out on the farm right now. Can you just kind of let us see what happens when it is done properly by professionals?
Right. So this is Leslie and her dog Lotus. Right now, Lotus is going to drive some sheep away from her. Lotus is a bit more advanced. So what Lotus is doing, she's trying to keep all of the sheep gathered and together with Leslie. So back in the day, they used to do this so that they could take the sheep to market or move them to different pastures. So the dog really had to understand how to gather an entire group of sheep gently and bring them to the shepherd. So she's just moving the sheep around a little bit. She did a small outrun there, and that's where the dog runs completely out and gathers the sheep. She did a nice lift where she brought the sheep very, very gently to her. So now she's just keeping her around them.
This is amazing. I want to tell you, if you're watching this, this is a live shot of the farm of this dog keeping, what is that, 6 sheep in the frame of our camera. Just perfectly. This dog is hired. Now, I can't keep 3 kids in the frame of a picture with my camera phone, and this dog is keeping these sheep perfectly like this. This is, how long did it take this dog? Can't just be natural instincts here. This is like a lot of skill happening right in front of us.
A lot of it is natural instincts. So when it comes to the border collies, they work quite a bit different than the other breeds. The only breed that can kind of compare to the border collies style of working is the Kelpie. The border collies work a lot with their eye. So if you see, she gets real crouchy and real low. She's pushing the sheep with her eye. So that's Finn right there. He's trying to round him up there.
Yeah.
So he doesn't, I mean, Finn's doing a great, like, I'm impressed, but he looks a little more reckless than our friend, if I can say this gently, in front of his mother. He's not quite. So when we take, a look at the live shot of the farm, like when we've been seeing that, like professional, like we've got like the Michael Jordan of border collies out there rounding up sheep. It is a little bit different. So you're saying it depends on the breed of the dog. So if somebody's sitting out there, they have a sheepadoodle or a border collie that's basically just sitting in their living room all day watching Netflix with them. Are these dogs, like, do they have a yearning to do this? Do they just want to be out there on the farm doing this work?
Some dogs do. Some dogs know that they want to herd things and they just haven't experienced the farm life yet.
Okay, so and I've talked to a lot of people when I tell them that this is what I'm doing with Finn, and I have people, friends who have Chihuahuas, who have different kinds of
Keep your
dogs.
Chihuahua off the farm. They're not built for
Are
this.
there any like, do you have to say, okay, this is not a herding dog? Because I was surprised when you said that poodles were at one point used to herd, and you do actually train one right now.
Yes. So we try not to take non-traditional herding breeds only because they weren't really bred for this, so they don't really have the instinct. It's more just chase and play. And we try to keep our sheep safe and not harassed. So we try to take only the breeds that were meant to do this.
So I've
Yeah.
got to show some video here of just the pure joy in Finn's face. So Ginger's husband took some video of Finn out here on this farm while he's herding sheep, doing what the good Lord intended him to do, it seems. Like, look at him he is just focused, and I love, Finn is one of my favorite dogs on earth. He is just a joy of a dog. And it's hard to find him so focused and so interested in something. Do these dogs just like come alive? Have you heard from any owners who say like, well, I've never seen my dog act like this before?
Yes, so we actually use herding to build confidence in some dogs. So I will have some people come out that say, my dog's a little timid, my dog's a little afraid of people and stuff like that. So a lot of times we'll bring the dogs out here if they were bred for this, and we get them on sheep, and a totally different dog just comes alive. They're not afraid of things. They come out of their shell. They learn how to do this, and it's something that they love, and it keeps their brain busy, and it's a good stimulation for them. But it just brings them out of their shell, and it builds confidence.
So Natalie Cole, Linden Hollow Sheep Farm out in St. Cloud. I feel like a lot of people are going to be giving you a call after this. Well, I truly hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Finn's been about 4 times now, but he's not done yet. He's going back for more. That's not his first rodeo.
He's truly a farm dog. And speaking of rodeo, next week we're having on a stud Florida bull rider. He's trying to climb the ranks, and this guy is hilarious.
Awesome. He's awesome, though.